Mhm. And here we go again. I think I might be a better view like this. And good morning, everyone. Yeah, this is kind of an impromptu YouTube live here on a Saturday morning, and I hope folks don't mind. You can always, of course, watch the recorded video when it's finished. And besides, this isn't going to take long anyway. As the title says, we are going to be doing some sausage gravy this morning because, well, why not? Well, a couple of reasons why. One is I'm hungry. It's Saturday morning and it's time for breakfast. Another, of course, is this helps keep me warm in this lovely cold snap we're having here in New York. And that would mean where the temperature has dropped to about 5 below 0. It was 6 below, but it is starting to go up. I better turn on the fan nonetheless. Okay. Um, because I've thawed out some ground beef and we are now getting started. Because yeah, again, we got some sausage gravy here, and that of course is how we start. Uh, some blood or whatever it is. Here we go. Oops. Also need to get a here something to hold on to. A glove here. All right. Yeah, because well, I'd considered making something with eggs this morning, but well, for obvious reasons, I want to conserve the eggs. Not to worry. I know everybody's talking about eggs, but they're not going to be at this price forever. There's an egg shortage, and that's the main reason why it's so expensive. But eventually, the price will go down. So just deal with it. That's really all we can do. Yeah, this was frozen ground beef. I thawed it out. It's not fresh ground beef, but it's fresh enough. It's still pink. So all we really have to do is get this cooked up here. Ah, yes. And we are making this in a 19th century cast iron pan here. This is a fancy handled number 9 size cast iron skillet. It was called that because collectors don't know what the actual name of this pan was. It is one of a series of pans with these fancy handles here. Um, that are believed to have been part of a either cook stove set or maybe their own dining room set. More likely, though, considering how this pan is incredibly light and thin, maybe one of the thinnest cast iron pans I've ever encountered, more likely it was made on the cheap. So probably it is one of those sets, or comes from one of those sets that came when you bought a stove, a wood burning stove back in those days. They would often include a complimentary set of cookware to go with the stove, as an enticement to get you to buy it. Because for a lot of folks in those days, it was their very first stove. They were upgrading from a fireplace or cooking hearth to an actual wood burning stove. And that would mean they would need to get entirely new cookware for it, since before then, of course, they had to cook over the fire or in the fire. And hence the free set of cookware to go with the stove. Which again means, of course, that naturally these pans and griddles and kettles that they included with the stove were, of course, made as cheaply as possible. That's why these are all incredibly thin and light, and that's also why it's believed none of them bothered putting a manufacturer's mark on them so that they could be interchangeable. Of course, since they were making them out of cast iron, they still lasted an incredibly long time, and that's why they're actually still rather easy to find even today. Oh, hello, hi. Well, you're not late, President Santa. This is this was not expected anyway, and I only started a few minutes ago. Good morning, Stephen O'Neill, and hello, Cynthia Wesley. I'm not asking anybody to interrupt their morning schedules. I mean, as I said, this was just, I just decided to do this for the heck of it. But thank you very much for showing up. Cincinnati, Ohio. Maybe we're gonna see some warm weather. Yeah, apparently gonna get that tomorrow. I was going to go out and buy a rug today, a carpet to go in one of my upstairs rooms that I am very slowly constructing a full-blown video production studio in. But since the temperature, again, they are saying the wind chill here in this area is going to be as low as 40 below, I think I'm going to postpone this tomorrow, where we are supposed to have your weather and the temperature is supposed to actually get back up into the 30s and maybe even 40. So all we can do is just relax today, stay indoors, and cook. 5:44 a.m. in British Columbia. Oh, well, thank you very much. I guess there's nothing else to do on a Saturday morning, or maybe you're working third shift, I guess. But anyway, nice to see you there, nonetheless. Old-fashioned coffee pot. You got the coffee ready. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're iron heads. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I know. That's really why we're all here, and that's why I am cooking up this sausage gravy. I've got some. I'm not doing biscuits this morning. I'm too lazy. But rather, I have cooked up a pot of rice, jasmine rice, over there in the aluminum, the Magnolite Dutch oven, which, as I've said enough times before, is my favorite rice cooker. And we're gonna have some gravy over rice. And furthermore, that means I'll be able to save a lot of the rice and have some fried rice with supper tonight. But yeah, as I mentioned, this is in fact a gate-marked 19th century number 9 sized skillet. They call these fancy handled pans because, as I said, nobody knew what the actual name was, and fancy handle is as good a description as any. There's a whole series of these pans with different handles. I think there's 7 or 8 have been identified in the series. I only have this one. I don't know. Maybe if I find another one, well, if it's at a cheap price, because I'm a cheapskate, I don't know. Maybe I might pick it up. So you saw me on the news? What? Oh, you're talking about New York, I guess. We say it's cold here, that unexplainable cold. Yeah, I'm actually from New England, and frankly, cold like this, while it is unusual for it to get this cold, it's just another Northeast winter. What can we say? Where it's supposed to get cold. It's February. And likewise, it's the Northeast. We're supposed to get a lot of snow, and actually, it's been pretty mild, as it turns out, in this particular area of New York. If I were in New England, I would have said that too. The weather doesn't really seem all that different between here and New England. I'm told there is more clouds and rain here than in New England, and I have seen quite a bit of that. But really, I mean, of course, on the other hand, I'm one of the lucky ones. I mean, I'm inside. I'm in a nice heated home here. The heat is doing well in my home. When I woke up, the temperature in the living room was 68. It's dropped to 67, and it'll probably get to 66 or 65 by midday, which is what it's supposed to do. I have my thermostat timer set to first heat up in the early morning so that it'll be warm when I get up. Drop during the day, to save energy, and it'll heat up again this evening. So, other than that, of course, just wear a sweatshirt. I found out that I need to get one of those little draft blockers for the bottom of the front door. Unfortunately, I really felt a very noticeable draft coming under that door. Unfortunately, well, I can't go out today and get it, but when the weather warms up, I will get one. So we'll be able to use it from then on. You know, one of those long snake-like things that they lay in front of the door. Ow, I die literally. Well, hey, that's one thing we Yankees have over you Southern folk. We laugh at mostly laugh at weather like this. I mean, yeah, I know, unless you're in Buffalo where people have died from it, but we will get by. I mean, that's how we're designed to live. We have regular street plowers and street salters during the winter, and I've definitely become more experienced in the fine art of shoveling out my driveway and the sidewalk in front of my home. There we go. That sure didn't take too long. Yeah, this is not going to take long at all. Yeah, roll up a towel. Yeah, actually, that's exactly what I did. When I felt that draft, I went and got and put a towel in front of the door. It's temporary. Yeah, I think I will. As I said, I will go get one of those draft blockers. Cold steel. No, actually, this is not steel. This is cast iron. It's a very, very thin cast iron. As I mentioned, this is one of the thinnest cast iron pans I have ever encountered, and I'm glad to own it. I guess I could say lightest too. It is a number 9 size, so it's still hefty. But yeah, I mean, compared to any number of large skillets or really any other modern day skillet, this is much lighter than that. Yeah. 765. I see. That's what you're saying. Cold steel. That's what you meant. My apologies. Sorry about that. Well, you could call this cold iron, seeing as how cold it is this morning. And again, that's one reason why I am cooking breakfast here at the stove. You know, to help keep warm and help warm the place up a little bit more. As I said, I'm hardly freezing. There is a noticeable chill in the air, even though the temperature in the living room says 67. I can still feel it. So once I'm done here with breakfast, I will put on a sweatshirt. But I'll be fine. I even have an electric blanket upstairs, and you better believe the cats are living on that. So we will all do just fine. I hope you folks do fine. I got word from a couple of people that their temperatures are far worse than mine. We're talking like 20, 30 below. So you can have it. This is enough for me. Speaking of enough for me, I just realized I forgot the butter. Excuse me 1 second while I dig that out of the fridge. There we go. Because, of course, when making gravy, you got to make a roux. So, flop. There we go. I know the cost of butter has gone up, and that's kind of expensive. What I put in right there, too. I could have used spread. I have margarine spread, but why not? It's just myself. I'm living by myself, so that means my food bills are far less than some families. So I'm lucky in that respect. On the other hand, people who have big families in their home, you know, they have a lot of advantages in many other ways. Yeah, I used to live in Alaska, and once it got down to 52 below. Ouch. Yeah. When I was younger, like around high school, I read that classic short story, you know, the one that goes to build a fire, one where it describes the guy trudging through the wilderness, the Alaskan wilderness at like, what was it, 60, 75 degrees below zero or something. It's a great story to read in the middle of the summer because it makes you feel cold. And I have not forgotten that story, so that's one reason why I am not going out today, not until the weather warms up. I did over 11 years active duty, multiple deployments, Iran, Kuwait, Haiti, twice in Afghanistan. Oh, yeah, so you know what it's like to be hot, too. Yeah, I know. My brother is a 30-year Army vet himself. He was in both desert storms. So yeah. So he doesn't describe much of what he did over there, and from what I gather, that may not be a bad thing. What is this? Oh, a piece. But I mean, at least he does have firsthand experience of what it's like to be really hot. You know, Death Valley in the U.S. is supposed to be the hottest place in the Western Hemisphere, but there are areas out there that can compare to it. All right, somebody show a content. Anyway, so that takes care of the butter. Next comes the flour. Here's the part where I'm always stupid, and I should have really pre-poured the flour because it always dumps out. So just gotta be careful there. Hey, I did it! Amazing. All right. That means once this is mixed in, we start adding the milk. Relatively speaking, the cost of milk has not gone up as much. I know everything's gone up. Some things have gone up more than others, such as eggs. But that's precisely why I think the cost of eggs will not remain this sky high forever. They say that inflation has driven prices up permanently, but I do believe eggs will come down to a more reasonable level at some point. Oldest son served in Iraq. Yeah, eggs. Yes, exactly, Andrew. So, yeah, under whether, yeah. Anyway, that didn't take long to get mixed in. I'm wondering if I may need more flour. Well, I'll find out. But then again, I always seem to misjudge the flour in my roux, which means now it's time to get out the milk. Yeah. As I said, I promise this is not a long live. I mean, we've already been here almost 20 minutes. I'm betting this will probably be done in the next 10 minutes or so. I learned the hard way about making gravy here. Two things. One is don't add all of the liquid at once. For some reason, I know it's science, but if you add all the liquid at once, you have to actually use more of it to make a proper gravy. So you always add it a little bit at a time. The other thing I learned, okay, what did I learn? Now I forget. Oh, yeah, the other thing I learned is that cast iron makes a really, really thick gravy. The hard part is not thickening your gravy, it's thinning it, that you don't get it too thick. On the other hand, I like thick gravy. So as long as it's not as thick as library paste, anybody remember library paste? Then I'm happy. Yeah. Biscuits in the oven? No, actually, I'm not doing biscuits. I didn't feel like biscuits. But as I said, I have a pot of rice there in the Magna-like Dutch oven there. So I'm going to serve this over rice. And that way I will also have a lot of extra rice to save for having fried rice tonight. Thinking ahead, wow. I thought Gen Xers weren't supposed to do that. Yeah, definitely. Boy, that milk evaporated. Here's where I find out I might need to add a little bit more flour, but give it a try. Because that milk didn't really make a gravy, it kind of evaporated. Oh, I am starting to see some thickening, so even so, maybe a touch more flour might not be out of the question. I'm not sure yet. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So far, as I said, so far the milk. I don't think this is the right gravy yet. Let me throw in a little bit more flour. And again, got to be careful not to dump it. Oh, never had it that way? Yeah, well, it's pretty simple. Make some rice and serve your gravy over it. I mean, after all, that's how we do things like, oh, any number of dishes, like gumbo, for instance, you serve it over rice. Why not have your gravy over rice? It'll flavor the rice. And, well, again, as much as I love biscuits, I love rice. So, there we go. Right now, it's looking like a big, yucky mess of sausage. No, not sausage, burger. It's also looking like it's already been eaten once. So, yeah, I recognize that. Well, let's try a tad more milk. The art of making gravy is, like many things, something I still need to practice, which is why I'm doing it now. There we go. Assuming this thickens, I think this will be the right color for gravy. I think this will work because, yeah, this will, oops, careful there. I think this will thicken. All right. Pretty much if you've had hamburger steak and gravy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there we go. This looks more like gravy now, so I'm doing better. Right. Never ever tried sausage gravy? Give it a try. Try different things in your gravy. Like add bacon, for instance. Make a bacon and sausage or bacon and hamburger gravy, for instance. Okay. Yeah, you're there eating your Cheerios. Well, hey, I love Cheerios too. As I said, I wanted to make this morning as well to help to warm up. And it's working too. I'm definitely not sweating, but it is certainly helping me to stay warm. Yeah, there we go. It's definitely thickening now, which means you have to flavor it a bit. Some salt, some pepper. I have a pepper grinder. I just need to refill it. I'm lazy. And of course, Worcestershire sauce. And yeah, that's how it's pronounced. Worcestershire or Worcestershire if you prefer sauce. I know the running joke, and yes, it is funny. Worcestershire sauce. Over on TikTok, the running joke is wash your sister's sauce. And I'm not going to say any more about that. I'll leave it to someone from West Virginia to say that. Most recipes are mishaps. Yeah, exactly. This is what they called peasant cooking. You know, you'd think that the nobility would never want to eat something as disgusting looking as this. Man, those peasant people sure could cook, couldn't they? There's so many wonderful dishes that started out as peasant dishes. I think I can turn this fan off, in fact. There we go. TikTok is toxic. Yes, it is. Unfortunately, it's become incredibly popular. It's becoming one of the top 10 most visited websites in the world, unfortunately. And yeah, I have to admit it can be addictive too. That's why YouTube has started imitating TikTok, and so has Facebook. With all of these YouTube shorts. If not for TikTok, YouTube never would have done that. In fact, just this week I got an announcement from TikTok that I'm getting revenue from the shorts, which means they're going to start using ads in the shorts as well. That also means that short I made that went viral and had over 1.5 million views last month did not generate me any revenue. Yeah. Well, it did actually get me a lot of exposure. My subscriber count on my channel definitely shot up, so that's something. I doubt I'll ever be lucky enough to go viral like that again. Well, you never know. Nonetheless, here we go. Some nice gravy. I think I can turn off the heat. Ah, yes, good gravy. This looks like some good gravy. And by the way, it's not even really sticking to the bottom, but of course, that's because I'm constantly stirring it. But yeah, that's not bad at all for a cast iron pan that could be 150 years old. So, all right, now let's bowl. Here it is. Uh, oh, shut up. Got a bowl. Actually, I gotta wipe this up. Some blood from the burger. All right. And with that, we can move this to the side for a moment. Did I turn it off? Yes, I did. Bring on the rice. Careful. Oh, yeah, that sounded great. Have I mentioned already that I love this aluminum pot as a rice cooker? Gotta have another thing for the rice. Here it is. Because I'm reserving most of this for tonight. There we go. Just have to fluff the rice. And so, this is jasmine rice, probably my favorite brand of rice. Oops, careful there. Start dumping it on. Yeah, I was never a leftovers person. I pretty much do all my servings at once, except when I go to an all-you-can-eat buffet. Some rice. Let's cover the pot for the moment. Because like I said, I'm going to be refrigerating this. Not the whole pot. I'll have to put it into a bowl, but that's what we'll do. And now for the gravy, which definitely has thickened. Yes. As Crocodile Dundee says, you eat that? Well, you can live on it, but it tastes like crap. Except, of course, that sausage gravy or hamburger gravy doesn't taste like crap. And there we go. Bam. Favorite titanium spork. And I do believe breakfast is served. That didn't take long at all either. This is going to be filling and it's going to be nice and warm. And since I'm not going anywhere today, all I really have to do is just relax. Maybe probably do some cleaning. Thanks for the reminder. Anyway, so yeah, I wish brisket was still cheap. Yeah, you and me both. All right, where'd my mouse go? Just want to say hi to some comments here. So yeah, fresh smoked chipped beef. That sounds pretty good in it. So, the chipped beef they sell in those little jars at the store is way, way too salty. At the gym, and oh yeah, there's no rule. Yeah, exactly. There's no rules in cooking. Absolutely. What's important is the taste. Okay, so hello, Papa Dan as well. I'm just about done actually. I mean, it's been about half an hour, and I have breakfast to eat now. But again, you can always watch the recorded video. Nonetheless, though, thank you everybody for showing up on a Saturday morning. It's very, very flattering, to be honest. Because as I said, having you folks here makes these lives a lot more fun. So thank you. Did I just hear something? Oh, I see. Something else is going on here. Okay. Something is playing. I think it's TikTok, in fact. Okay. Nonetheless, as I said, thank you very much. And hey, maybe if this inspires somebody to try some gravy over rice, feel free because I love it. It's easy to make. So have yourselves a good morning, folks, everybody, and keep warm, please, and keep safe. Thank you for watching. And well, I will see you next Wednesday.